Did you know that 60% of new managers fail within their first 18 months? That's a shocking statistic. Many are promoted based on their performance as a manager, but when they step into a leadership role, they realize the game has completely changed. The truth is, managing a team and leading a team are two very different things. And if you're making the transition from manager to leader, you may already feel the pressure. But here's the good news. You can make the switch successfully, and you don't need to be born a natural leader to do it. Leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about inspiring and empowering others to do their best work. In this video, we'll show you the key strategies to go from simply managing tasks to becoming the kind of leader who creates lasting impact. So, if you're ready to break through the barriers and unlock your true leadership potential, keep watching. We're about to dive into practical, actionable tips that will transform the way you lead and help you leave a legacy that lasts. Chapter 1. From tasks to vision. Shaping your leadership identity when transitioning from a manager to a leader. The biggest shift you'll make is moving from managing tasks to crafting a compelling vision. Managers ensure work gets done, but leaders inspire and guide their teams toward a common purpose. Leadership requires the ability to see beyond the immediate tasks and think strategically about long-term goals. According to Simon Sinek, author of Start With Why, leaders don't just tell people what to do, they inspire people by focusing on why they do it. Leaders help their teams understand how their efforts contribute to something bigger. A great example is how Steve Jobs didn't focus on day-to-day operations at Apple. Instead, he created a vision of what technology could do and inspired his team to build toward that. A study by Gallup found that teams with a clear sense of purpose are 21% more productive than those without one. So, start by identifying your team's core purpose and communicate it clearly. To make the leap, you also need to shift your mindset. Instead of thinking about how tasks are done, focus on why they matter. Ask yourself, how can I help my team see the bigger picture? As a leader, your role is to communicate this vision, align your team's goals with it, and remind them constantly of the mission. This clarity will drive motivation and creativity. One practical strategy is to hold regular vision-setting sessions. Instead of only discussing what's going wrong or what's next, take time to remind everyone of the why behind what they do. When you lead with vision, you inspire your team to own their work, rather than just completing tasks. Chapter 2. The power of influence. Leading without a title. Leadership is not about having a title. It's about influence. You don't need to be the boss to be a leader. In fact, a study from the Center for Creative Leadership found that the best leaders don't always have the most authority, they have the strongest influence. A leader without formal power can still rally people, spark change, and make things happen. The first step is to focus on building trust. People follow those they trust, not just those with authority. One effective way to build trust is by being transparent and open. When people know where you stand, they're more likely to follow you. A strong, consistent, and transparent leader creates a culture where others feel confident in making decisions and taking initiative. Another strategy is showing empathy. Listening to your team members, understanding their concerns, and offering support goes a long way. You may not have a title, but your actions can speak louder than any position on a company chart. As John C. Maxwell, author of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, writes, leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. Leadership without authority is about serving others. When you focus on helping people grow, they'll follow your lead, regardless of your position. Moreover, it's important to develop a strong personal brand. If you show up consistently with authenticity, people will respect you and naturally follow your lead. Being a leader without a title means you stand out by your actions, character, and influence, no hierarchy needed. Chapter 3. The Emotional GPS. Mastering emotional intelligence. The transition from manager to leader requires emotional intelligence, EQ. As a manager, you might have focused on tasks, deadlines, and productivity. But leadership is about connecting with people on an emotional level. EQ is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, as well as those of others. Daniel Goleman, who popularized EQ in his book Emotional Intelligence, says that 90% of top performers in the workplace have high EQ. Leaders with strong emotional intelligence excel at managing stress and navigating difficult situations with calm and clarity. They understand how to motivate their teams, even in challenging times. The ability to read the emotional temperature of the room and adjust your approach accordingly is a key skill for effective leadership. One strategy to improve your EQ is to practice active listening. Rather than thinking about your response while others are talking, focus on truly understanding their perspective. This creates a deeper connection and helps you respond more thoughtfully. A study by the Carnegie Institute of Technology found that 85% of job success comes from well-developed people skills. When you lead with empathy and understanding, you make your team feel valued, which builds loyalty. Another aspect of EQ is self-awareness. Being in tune with your own emotions and reactions helps you manage how you show up as a leader. Before reacting to a situation, take a step back and assess your emotional response. This practice helps you avoid rash decisions and communicate more effectively. Lastly, emotional intelligence is not just about managing others' emotions, it's about handling your own. Leaders with high EQ know how to stay calm under pressure. When times get tough, your team will look to you for guidance. Your ability to stay composed will influence how they respond to challenges. Improving emotional intelligence takes time, but the effort is worth it. When you lead with emotional intelligence, you build stronger, more effective relationships with your team, creating an environment where people feel understood, respected, and motivated to follow your lead. If you've found these insights helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get more leadership strategies delivered to you. Chapter 4. The Multiplier Effect. Turning teams into tribes. Leadership is about multiplying the potential of those around you. Managers often focus on individual productivity, but great leaders know that the true power lies in creating teams that work together seamlessly. One of the best strategies for doing this is creating a sense of community. Leaders who focus on building strong, collaborative teams often see better results than those who lead by command and control. Research by Google found that the most successful teams are those with psychological safety, a term used to describe an environment where team members feel comfortable taking risks, voicing their opinions, and making mistakes without fear of judgment. A leader who fosters psychological safety helps team members feel valued and encouraged to contribute their best ideas. Instead of fostering competition, a great leader creates a space where everyone's strengths are celebrated, and collaboration is the norm. Empowerment is another key factor in multiplying your team's impact. Leaders who delegate authority and trust their teams with responsibility create a sense of ownership. According to a study by Gallup, employees who feel empowered are 12 times more likely to be engaged in their work. By giving your team the freedom to make decisions, you not only boost their confidence but also encourage innovation and creativity. Building relationships is crucial, too. Take time to get to know your team members on a personal level. When you know what drives each individual, you can create opportunities that cater to their strengths. In turn, this helps everyone perform better and strengthens the overall bond of the team. Leaders who focus on creating a tribe, rather than just a group of employees, see much higher levels of engagement and performance. To build this culture, hold regular team building activities that aren't just about work. Encourage open communication and make your team feel like they belong to something bigger than themselves. A group that feels connected will work harder, collaborate better, and take pride in their collective success. Chapter 5. Crisis to Opportunity. Leading when it counts. Crisis moments are when true leadership shines. The best leaders don't panic, they turn challenges into opportunities for growth. A major strategy during times of crisis is to remain calm and composed. According to leadership expert Warren Bennis, the most dangerous leadership myth is that leaders are born. The myth asserts that leaders have a special gift or charisma that makes them unique. The truth is that leadership is a set of behaviors, not a role for heroes. When a crisis hits, people will look to you for guidance. If you remain level-headed, your calm will help reassure others. Start by assessing the situation and communicating openly about the challenges. Transparency builds trust, especially during tough times. A 2020 survey by Harvard Business Review found that employees who believed their leaders communicated honestly during a crisis were 2.5 times more likely to feel motivated and engaged. Leaders who can reframe a crisis as an opportunity for innovation will inspire their teams to think outside the box. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many businesses were forced to go virtual. Leaders who saw this as a chance to improve remote work technology and communication systems helped their companies not just survive, but thrive in a new environment. The ability to pivot quickly and learn from setbacks is a defining characteristic of strong leadership. Another strategy during a crisis is to provide clear direction. People often feel lost and uncertain during challenging times, so it's your job to set a clear course. Create an action plan, set priorities, and delegate responsibilities. The more organized and structured you are, the more your team will feel confident in their ability to overcome the crisis. Lastly, don't forget to offer encouragement. Leaders who inspire hope during a crisis motivate their teams to keep going, even when the road ahead seems tough. Celebrate small wins along the way and keep your team focused on the progress they're making. Leadership in a crisis is about turning fear into action and showing your team that they can overcome anything. If you've enjoyed these strategies, make sure to subscribe for more insights that will help you grow into the leader you're meant to be.